Okay, so we're going to start with question one. I'll give you all like about a minute to solve this. Okay, so for question one, we're told in total there is 108 pounds of produce, and we're told there's Z pounds of zucchini and C pounds of cucumbers. So that means that in total, the total pounds of cucumbers plus the total pounds of zucchini, so Z plus C has to equal the total amount of produce, which is 108 pounds. So 108. Then we're also told that the farmer sold the zucchini for 1.69 per pound. So that means 1.69 Z plus 99 cents per pound for cucumbers. So 0.99 C has to equal a total collection of $150.32. So 150.32. And these are our two equations. Z plus C equals 108. So it's not A. Z plus C equals 108. 1.69 Z plus 0.99 C. So the correct answer is answer choice B. Okay, question two. So someone asked, can you use Desmos instead of mechanical calculator? Sure, but we're currently on the no calculator section, so not right now. But when we get to the calculator section, sure. Anyway, for question two, um, we're given the monthly cost C is, well, we're just given a formula. I'm not reading all that. And then in a particular month, it costs no more than 2,000 to operate the truck. So the total monthly cost, C, is 2,000. And at least 150 gallons of gas were used. So X is hours and Y is gallons of gas used. So that means 150 is Y. So 10X plus 4 times 150. 4 times 150 is 600. 2000 minus 600 is 1400 equals 10x. Divide both sides by 10, and that gets us 140 equals x. So the correct answer is answer choice B. Okay, question 3. Okay, so for question 3, we're given a formula, and we basically just have to solve. So 5x squared minus, well, we need to distribute, so negative 3 times 1. So first, let's just write everything out. Um, 5x squared minus, well, negative 3 times 1 is minus 3. Negative 3 times negative x is positive 3x. And then we do the same thing for this side. So negative 2x times x is minus 2x squared. And then negative 2x times 5 is minus 10x. And then we just need to simplify. So 5x squared minus 2x squared is 3x squared. Positive 3x. So let me just cross this shit out. And then positive 3x minus 10x is minus 7x. And then you're left with minus 3. So this is the correct answer, which is answer choice A. Okay, question 4. Okay, so for question four, we just have to solve this quadratic. So first, let's just multiply out. So x times x and x times 2. So that's x squared plus 2x equals 8. Let's bring a over to the left side. So that's x squared plus 2x minus 8 equals 0. And then we just have to simplify this quadratic equation, which would be x plus 4 and x minus 2. Because positive 4 times negative 2 is negative 8, and positive 4 minus 2 is positive 2. So that would leave us with all of this has to equal 0. So what does x equal? Well, x has to equal negative 4, because negative 4 plus 4 is 0, and 0 times this is 0. Or x can equal positive 2, where 2 minus 2 is 0, and 0 times this is 0. So x equals negative 4 or 2, which is answer choice C. Okay, question 5. Okay, so for question 15 or question 5, we have we're given a image and we're told that BC and AD are parallel. So this and this are parallel. AB and EC are parallel. And CD equals CE. So um, these two are the same side lengths. What is the measure of angle BCD if ABC is 115? Well, if ABC is 115, we know that AEC also has to be 115. And we know that the side lengths of, well, I guess we can just do it this way. The side lengths of this, because this is a straight line, is 180. So the side length of this entire thing is 180. So the side length of angle EC or CED is 180 minus side length AEC, which is 115, which would be 65. So side length CED is 65. Since CE and CD are the same uh, length, we can also say that CDE is also 65 uh, degrees. And we know that the side lengths of a triangle add up to 180 as well. So we have 65, 65, and we're solving for the missing angle. So 180 equals, or 180 minus 65 times 2, which is 180 minus 130, which would be 50. So this side length is 50. Um, we also know that this side length using the opposite angles is also 65. So we know that the total side length of BCD is 65 plus 50, which would be 115, which is answer choice B. Okay, question 6. Okay, so for question 6, we have an equation, and we just need to get P in terms of T. So you just kind of divide. So 0.8 P equals T. So you just divide the left side of the equation by 0.8, and you divide the right side of the equation by 0.8. So you get P equals T divided by 0.8, which is answer choice D. Okay, question 7. Okay, so for question 7, we have two equations. We just need to solve. So I guess the easiest way to do this is to just first solve for y. So I just did minus 2y minus 2y, and we get x equals 16 minus 2y. And then we can plug that into the other equation, which would be 0.5. And then instead of x, we just plug in y, so that's 16 minus 2y. Minus y equals 10. And then we multiply out the parentheses, which would just be 0.5 times 16, which is 8, minus y equals 10. 8 minus 2y equals 10. Add 8 to both sides, so wait. So 8 minus 2y equals 10, so then y has to equal -1, because -1 times -2 is +2, so 8 plus 2 is 10, so y is equal to -1. And then we can plug that into our original equation. X equals 16 minus 2y, so x equals 16 minus 2 times -1. -1 times -2 is +2, so 16 plus 2, which is equal to 18. So the correct answer is answer choice C. Now you could have just directly solved for x instead of y, but that would be slightly more difficult with the equations we were given. I guess you could just take this bottom equation, multiply everything by 2, and then do 10 plus y equals x, or yeah. Okay, question 8. Okay, so for question 8, what is the following is the graph of the equation? Well, we know that it's a positive slope, so it can't be answer choice C because that's a negative slope. Intercept of +3, so it can't be answer choice B because that's +2. And then we know that the slope is 2, so it can't be answer choice D because this is a slope of half. So the correct answer is answer choice A. There's a slope of 2, intercept of 3. Okay, question 9. Okay, so for question 9, we have two equations, and we're told which are following is the y-coordinate for an intersection point xy. Well, the intersection point means that both of the x values and y values are equal with each other, so we can just set these equations equal to each other. So since we can do that, we can also just plug in. So we know that y is equal to this, so we can just plug that into the bottom equation. So we get x equals, and when we plug in y, which would just be x squared minus 6x plus 11, and then we still have the plus 1. And then, well, we can just solve the quadratic. So first, let's just simplify. So that would be x squared, and then we subtract x from both sides. So that gets us minus uh, 7x, and then 11 plus 1 is plus 12. And then simplifying this, we get x minus 3 and x minus 4, because negative 4 times negative 3 is positive 12, and negative 4 minus 3 is negative 7. So we know that x equals 3 or x equals 4. And so we can just plug in to find y. So you plug into this equation. 3 equals y plus 1, and 4 equals y plus 1. So that means y can equal, subtract 1 from both sides. That gets us y can equal 2, or y can equal 3. 3 is not one of our answer choices, so that means y must be equal to 2. So the correct answer is answer choice C. Okay, question 10. Okay, so for question 10, the following expressions equivalent to the one above, where x does not equal 1. We just kind of just need to solve. So to add two fractions together, we have to have the same denominator. So to do that, we just multiply this left side by 2 over 2. Alternatively, we could also divide the right side, but I find multiplication easier. So that would get us 10 over 2 times x minus 1. 10 over 2 times x minus 1 plus 8 over 2x minus 1. We can now add these, so that's 18 over 2 x minus 1. Divide 18 by 2, that gets us 9 over x minus 1. This is the correct answer. So that is answer choice A. Okay, question 11.
There's someone who wants to explain nation of 10th again.
Someone said to re-explain question 10. Okay, so basically, in order to add two fractions, you have to have the same denominator. So we just multiply the left fraction by 1, or in this case, 2 over 2. 2 over 2 is just 1. So we're not really changing this equation by multiplying it by 1. So doing that, you would get 10 over 2 x minus 1, which is the same thing as 5 over x minus 1. But this way we have the same denominator, so we can add the two equations. And so 10 plus 8 gets us 18, and then the denominator stays the same. And so we need to have the same denominator to add them, and then we can just simplify. 18 over 2 is 9 over x minus 1. Did that help? Okay, back to question 11. Okay, so for question 11, we have a positive real number x. X to the 8th power is 2. What is the value of x to the 24th power? Well, let's just find out what x is. So x is equal to the 8th root of 2. So if we want to find x to the 24th, this would just be 8th root of 2 to the 24th power, which is equal to 24 divided by 8, which is 2 to the 3rd power. 2 to the 3rd power is equal to 8. So the correct answer is answer is D. So x is 8th root of 2. When you multiply this to the 24th power, you also multiply this to the 24th power, and you simplify, which gets us 2 to the 3rd power, which is 8. Okay, question 12.
Someone wants the explanation of 11.
So someone asked, can you explain 11 again? So basically, I just found out what x was, which, okay, so to find x, we just have to take the eighth root of left side and the eighth root of right side, right? Because the eighth root of x to the eighth power would just be x. So we just take the eighth root of the right side as well, which gets us the eighth root of 2. And then if we want to find x to the 24th power, we just multiply the left side. We just multiply the left side by x 24 times, which would just be x to the 24th power. So we have to do the same thing with the right side, which would mean we just take this and we multiply it to the power of 24. And then to get rid of this exponent rules, we just took the 24 and we divide it by 8. So if we had something like x to the fourth power and we had the square root, well, this is just the same thing as x squared. We just take 4 divided by 2. Well, this is just the same application, but with larger numbers, where we just have x to the 24th or 2 to the 24th, and we have 8. So we just take 24 divided by 8, which is 2 to the third. And then 2 to the third is just 8, because 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8. So that helped maybe. Okay, so for question 12, 12 is basically the same principle. We're just taking the cube root of this equation. So in order to do that, well, basically it's just division. So in the last one, we did 24 divided by 8. Well, in this case, we're just taking these exponents and divided by 3. So f of 6a, and we're just dividing this by 3. And then k squared, we're just dividing by 3 in order to get rid of this cube root. So f of 6a over 3 is just 2a, and then k to the 2/3 is still k to the 2/3. So this is the correct answer, which is answer choice D. Okay, question 13.
There was one question. What is the answer to number 12? I'm not sure whether you explained it.
Uh, 12 was D. Do you need me to explain it?
Just show it. Maybe he'll know.
Okay, so we're question 13. We're given an equation and we're told if 350 people are projected to go to the pool, well, 350 people would be um the function g, which is the number of people. So 350 equals 5 times 7, and then we're given the temperature is 90 degrees Fahrenheit, so 7 times 90 minus 12C, where C is some constant that we don't know and we need to find, over 2 minus 25. Now we just kind of need to solve. So 7 times 90, and then that times 5. 7 times 90 would be 63, and then we have the 0. So 630 minus 12C over 2, and then we still have the 5, and then the minus 25. First, let's just simplify this a little bit more. So we just multiply out 5 times 630 and 5 times negative 12, which would be 3150 time minus 12 times 5, which is 60 C over 2. 3150 divided by 2 is 1575. So let me scroll down a bit. So this would be 1575 minus, and then 60C divided by 2, which is 30C. And then we still have the minus 25. And then we still have the equals 350. And now we just need to solve for C. So 1575 minus 25 is 1550 minus 30C equals 350. Subtract 1550 from both sides. That gets us negative 1200. So negative 1200 equals negative 30C. And then we just divide both sides by negative 30. That gets us 40 is equal to C. So the correct answer is 40. is honestly a pretty hard question for no calculator because of some pretty high numbers. Anyway, question 14. Okay, so question 14. We have a base of 212 degrees Fahrenheit, which is the initial, so we have to have 212 as the initial. And then for every increase in 1,000 feet, the boiling point of water drops approximately 1.84 degrees Fahrenheit, so it should be minus a number. And then we're given H is feet above sea level. Well, let's just translate these. Um, Negative 1.84 H, well, that means if you're 1 foot above sea level, the temperature drops 1.84 degrees. If you're 2 feet above sea level, it drops double that, which is not the same thing as an increase in 1,000 feet. So it's not A. So the correct answer is answer B. If we plug in 1,000, we would get 1.84, which is correct. Because every time you go up 1,000, it drops by 1.84 degrees. Question 15. Okay, so for question 15, we have an equation and we're asked to find the radius of a circle. Well, if we want to find the radius of a circle, we have to turn this into the circle formula equation. So that would just be x, well, plus or minus a squared, and then plus y plus or minus b squared equals the radius squared. This is the circle formula. And so we need to convert this equation into this formula. So that would just be, well, for us to get x plus or minus some value squared, it would just be x squared. Well, this would just equal x squared plus 2a plus a squared if this is a plus. So since this equals this, and then if it's a minus, it would be x squared minus 2a plus a squared again, if this is x minus a squared. And so using that information, we can solve this pretty quickly because we know that this negative 4x must be one of these two values, either positive 2a or negative 2a. And so using that equation, we can quickly solve these questions, which would just be x. In this case, it's minus because it's negative 4x, and then this would just be 2, x minus 2 squared, because negative 2 times 2, or negative 2 times 2 would just be negative 4. So that follows what we just found. And then this would give us a remainder of 4. So that means this equation is 4 larger than this original equation. So we have to subtract 4 from the original equation in order to get, in order to use this. And then we do the same thing with the y term. So this would just be a plus. And then for the y term, we just take half of 6y, which would just be 3. So y plus 3 squared. And then 3 times 3 is 9. So this is 9 larger than the original equation. So we have to subtract 9 to even it out. And then this should still have the minus 24 that is left. So minus 24 from here. And so if we bring all of our constants to the other side, we would get x minus 2 squared plus y minus 3 squared. And then we would have 24 plus 9 plus 4, which is equal to 37, because 24 plus 9 is, well, I guess 24 plus 4 is 28, plus 9 is 37. And then, so 37 is equal to r squared. So r squared equals 37 based on this formula. So we need to find the radius. So not radius squared, but just radius. So this would just be radius equals the square root of 37, which is answer is C.
We'll end the session now. It's time, and we'll see you again next week with the next questions. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Bye-bye. Have a wonderful weekend.